So I figured I'd talk for a little bit before I start doing my, uh, I guess, routine workout, whatever you want to call it, my schedule for today being the fourth day, and then I'll decide tomorrow if I want to take a walk or not. Um, so this week's been better than before in terms of not getting in a rut, as they call it. So I got to do my push-ups. I got my mats out. I got to do my push-ups, abs, bicep curls, and my jog walks, and then take a walk and stop at the store to get water and soda at least. I mean, I can't really, as everybody knows, and I don't want it to be a topic about the SNAP food card. Not a topic, just like the housing. That doesn't mean um, these things are progressing towards quote unquote freeing everything. That's not what they're doing. So some of them have to continuously make up a reason that they're controlling something. So just waiting for them to die and other people go in and put it back the way it was in 2020. Okay. So in 2020, uh, as they were requested to do, I would assume your executive force did it. They closed all the DTA offices so that they would stop asking for renewals, recertifications, because they were repeatedly starving people. People that don't have a phone, people that don't have an address to get anything mailed to them, people that don't have money to mail back, people that wanted to leave an area. Okay. So we accomplished that for 1 year. It automatically renewed, so it's clearly possible. And who cares anyway? It's food, and it's a set amount. Okay. So it's about, what is it now? It goes back and forth. They have to constantly change everything because it's like a mania. I consider that complete mental insanity. It's keeping them busy. But it's a set amount that's under $200. It's supposed to be 200 SNAP food units a month, in case people are new to the SNAP system. When you're homeless and you have no income, it's supposed to be 200. That's what it was in 2012, and they immediately began chipping away at it in some sort of horrifying insanity. They just cannot stop doing it. Okay, so it's gone up and down. I explained the thing about flushing a nation with extra SNAP food units and still not allotting them to Mary LaGore in a horrifying madness. So um, I'm making resources, so that's not going to be an issue. And like I said, from my point of view, as many people as it takes are going to be laid into a grave until it stops. There's not going to be any more talking to you, calling you, explaining it to you other than this. Like I said, I have requested again to have a Facebook available for you things to comment on, and that's the other issue is the people that won't stop doing this. Okay, it's a combination of three things. In case people was wondering, you were told repeatedly what the quote unquote demands are, not you then make up that that's why you're not doing the demands because you are trying to kill other people. You're mentally insane. It is what it is. You were told to stop this insanity with the internet, to stop the insanity with the EBT cards, not a debt limit. They have aphasia. I'm explaining it to you. That's my job. The EBT limits because you won't stop doing it. You're not controlling nuclear material. I spoke with you folks on the phone and I visited you in real life. There's not going to be any more excuses. Repeatedly told. Okay? Then we get to the business about the housing and the stipends to live on. Okay, so nobody has to do renewals or recertifications. It's all computerized. Even if you wanted an excuse to work, it's all on a computer. Mary LaGore, no residential address, no income, owns no property. Okay? So you repeatedly won't stop trying to murder me through starvation. I'm not going to talk to disgusting beings that are clearly deranged and psychotic. I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm done with it. Over. Okay. So I don't negotiate at all. You never negotiate with hostage takers because they're essentially mad. They're insane to even be doing that. And they just get worse and worse and worse and worse and become more abusive. You're holding a hostage, you think, as a boron shield or to get money printed to you, but you won't stop attempting to murder me because you're clearly mentally insane. So there's no more, none of it. Under perjury of the last time, no. On the Facebook, they think it's a court. At a DTA office, they think it's a court. They're making up a court. Everybody thinks that they're a judge and a lawyer and they're doing courts and everybody's subject to perjury and all this insanity. It's dementia. So, anyways, bright, sunny, sun, good day today. I got up. She was put herself in the wheelchair apparently, but there's a little bit of confusion because I could see that food keeps being put on top of her toilet, and I don't know if it's in the wrong place that she can't just go on a toilet. I don't know what it is, but it's not my business. Other than okay, good. Another day, I don't have to worry about that because it seems to be cyclic, and I don't know if she's getting up like that when she has to defecate. That's possible. So it just seems like it's cyclic. It goes so many days, and then all of a sudden, boom, there she is in a wheelchair. So it is what it is. So that's why I said it's not my business. Other than, all right, well, that person's still alive, and come March 1st, the rent will be paid because this has got to go on till at least March 19th. Okay, so um, the people, quote unquote, out there are getting much more REMs from what I can tell from the visits out there. So you had an announcement from your governor, at least to my view. Hopefully, everyone is seeing that about um, your rapid transit communities, which means you're rapidly transitioning. Okay, so it has to be done because it's been 13 years and just an absolute refusal to stop attacking U.S. citizens. This is the United States of America. It's kind of functions like this. You, what they call, it's the melting pot. You assimilate to American culture and the U.S. Constitution when you migrate here. Not you come here and change everything and turn it upside down and it's your culture and stuff. I know a lot of people try to do that. America has never functioned in that manner. So this business about everyone's got to accept all this nonsense, people don't accept it anymore, just as an FYI. And when you've gotten to this degree, yeah, just I think that most of them know that people don't agree with what they're doing, but they feel like they're an abuser and they will stab you if you voice your opinion about anything. Okay. Well, I don't have any of those problems. Right. Clearly, when you try to force me into one of your things out there, and then I don't know what you tell yourselves, usually it's some sort of horrifying, gross madness about, oh, say it to my face. Okay. Yeah, like it's all aggression and threatening, not I'm threatening. That's what they do about everything. Went over that a little bit ago. Okay. How about if you actually give up the means to murder me and then I'll say it to your face because that's insane. I am a higher thought being. I don't have to get in fist fights with animals. Uh, that's your thing. I don't want to be viewed as a terrifying, aggressive animal. Okay, so it's just I mean, it's weird like females acting like men and stuff. It's just really maybe lay off the testosterone, whatever it is you are doing that's causing that behavior in females. It's really kind of grotesque to observe. I explained it about Rebecca Donahue and stuff, and they're like walking like this, like they're trying to be dudes. Not a good look. You're not me. You can't play both sides of the field, right? So, anyways, I'm a lady, and this is basically because of a hostage taking. as most people know that have met me in real life before 2011, I displayed some of that when I went to the symphony. So, in terms of mimicry and protection, so I don't really, I have no desire to be doing that. That's why I avoid you. Yeah, like obviously, most of you I can take in a fight. If we had just a regular thing going on, which we're not, God is saving us from having to do that. You're not really a threat to me. That's why you go around going, call the police when you want to, and then out of the other side of your mouth, you keep telling us to defund the police because you're mentally insane animals. Show up at a house, attack me, I punch you in the face 4 times to get you to stop trying to sweep me. I have an enlarged liver and kidneys. All of a sudden, here's the fucking cops. You can't fight your own battle. Why'd you come to this address to attack this fucking female that's already been homeless in a Holocaust all this time? Okay, and then you want people to do what? How about if you just stay the fuck away from her? Is that possible? Good. Thank you. Don't want to be dragged down to your level. It's supposed to be viewable to the planet. So, in case people don't know what things mean, okay. Anyways, well, certain communities, because this has been going on for 15 years, have completely been transformed into a community of monkeys. So it makes it easy to send them to heaven, okay, because you have a whole population of people that are in houses in the suburbs because you've held up the transition plan this long. And they're not going to be able to keep driving because of the brain plague. And some of them are elderly. And we're not doing a thing where we do another generation of forcing families out to your shelter system. We're not doing that anymore. It's over. People are not coming here to be put into your housing. Housing is being made available by murdering, basically, because they've got to be murdered. They've got to be killed. A whole population of brain sick animals have got to be laid down, and then we don't care anymore. We don't care anymore. We don't care about innocence and how much of that housing is empty. All of that is a made up discussion I'm not having. It's just clearing out areas, then bodies will be removed, and then these folks can be moved closer to services. Okay, because there's a public transportation system, and they're not going to be starved to death in their homes out here. So that Party Central can keep going on and rapid breeding when you were told to stop breeding. I don't care who you are, I don't care how cute your 3-year-old is in your head. Clearly, over 15 years, that's who's gotten housing. I've experienced it myself for 13 years. You're not giving Americans housing. It's just you basically, you've determined that these people are your species. Yes, you have. So you're being laid down and put into graves. So for the rest of the time, enjoy being that close to services. I told you over the Christmas season that entertainment was being provided to you. Okay. And you're not going to be starved to death. People aren't going to show up there with axes and stuff and pull your head out of your hair to get into housing. Okay. People are simply waiting for you to die. All due respect. All due respect. Okay. Like I said, there's probably people in all different quote unquote communities. I'm familiar with the city of Quincy that was deemed completely criminally deranged in 2020. Okay? Your entire police force was handed over to the US military, and you like police uniforms. Okay? And you will be contained because it's almighty. Okay? and you want running water, you want food, you've got you probably still got your Starbucks and your Dunkin' Donuts fired up because you refuse to make your own coffee. Okay, but you live in housing with kitchens, and I exist on the ground or in a shelter, so we're done. Okay, so a lot of you are drug addicts, you're end of life sex offenders. It's all been sort of, like I told you, 15, 20 years of housing you things out there. So also ground zero for the heroin epidemic. Okay, so you people are mentally ill and you're end of life psychopaths that are being put down for your own good. You get to go to heaven. God has a plan for everyone. God loves everyone. So good luck with your whatever you're going to be doing. You won't see me again. Okay, told you that months ago. They have, God forbid, shelters other places. Clearly, there's a nuclear campaign going on to prevent any more of this nonsense. It's an absolute disgrace, as you were told by Donald Trump. So clearly a lot of mental confusion about the past 15 years and what people actually tolerate. I explained some of it. Clearly, this is a whole population. There's 320 million people here at least, because people are being shipped in here. Okay? They didn't want to have to resort to this because it's essentially agreeing to be put down yourself for the greater good of mankind. Not you were ever somehow being allowed to be doing it. It's all about how to deal with you. Okay, so promise of the Father, expected a prophet, you got one, you have proof of the quote unquote cycling and reincarnation, and then obviously all this stuff I've been explaining to the best of my ability about the mimicry and different species and binders on psyches and stuff like that. So that people, it's supposed to be a good, happy thing. And you have some people that the only thing that's good and happy to them is terrorizing another person. Okay, so the hope is that those people are all going to go down first in a swoop, and that'll be the end of it. Okay? It was obviously because we were in a disassociation, at least up until Trump Pence, it was fun. Okay, and then by 2019, obviously everyone began to question what the hell was going on because we thought that people were doing a transition plan that they weren't doing, but it's almighty, as I just explained. Right, so in essence, you have thousands of people that agreed to take housing before me and other Americans since 2008. So there's really probably no love lost between the people that are not in that area and those people. And then if you're not a person that's actually been going back and forth from the shelter and stuff and experiencing some of these beings, and then watching them become more and more um, cuddled up to people that are destroying your country. Okay, talk about bleep suckers. These folks are, okay, so they've joined the bandwagon of hating even people in their own genetic families, their own country. It's kind of sickening if you haven't experienced it. So you don't have to worry about what's going on in those areas, but to stay away from them. I mean, especially if you know you're like me sometimes, where it's a lot better now, but, and you just, what the F is this? You don't even want to know what goes on. You don't want to know. And I explained it. It's been at least 4 years of just blatantly giving themselves incomes through a DTA office. They're completely criminally deranged. Okay, just Section 8s out the windows. Any way they can print themselves money, get money through the various departments. Everything has to be a fraud like that because of their derangement. All of it, setting up their own community health centers and stuff. It's just, and they're all like mentally retarded. They can't provide to you medical care. Okay, so paying people like $40, $45 an hour. I told you to stick a Q-tip up my nose twice a week. That's why I had to be attacked at a house and thrown out there. Okay, that's their youth population. That's their 20-something-year-old population. So, anyways, talk about screening people for housing. It's almighty. They may not even realize they were doing that. You can tell by the way that they treat me and talk to me how sick they are, but it's almighty. He controls it. They don't control it. Remember, Yahweh is conducting the final judgment of mankind. It's almighty. They can't control their own thoughts. It's a creator. So some of them will become sinister like that, but they're still doing God's bidding. Like I just explained, it's at least 15 years of housing betrayers. So it's like God's screening process if you haven't met some of them. Like Blurda, she apparently came here from Albania. She may be a naturalized citizen. And then she's got she has an underlying mental health condition, probably mania. So she collects Social Security, and she was going to a shelter, and she works, and then they put her in one of those rooms, like I told you, because she took the room believing it was the room I was forced out of. That's why she agreed to take it. She was in a room where she wasn't paying anything for 2 years. They don't pay a bill. They don't pay 30%, not the people on that program. And she's collecting Social Security and working at Target. She had a boyfriend at the shelter, okay? And then he would go over there. They'd throw food in the trash barrel and go shopping again. He told me about it. That's the people that are living out there. Okay. So I'm sure it's just as bad in Brockton. I know the places that place has been housing people. There's a ton of them in Brockton. So Brockton, Stoughton, Plymouth, Quincy, Braintree, Weymouth, Hingham, Hull. So it makes it easier, these ones that are on the coast. From what I gather, it makes it easier in terms of targeted bombing. So anyways, most of them, I don't even think they pay attention to the internet anymore. I know, and it's almighty. They don't care, right? Because if you meet them, from the ones that I know from Quincy, the second they get up in the morning, it's how are they going to get money for booze and drugs. That's all they do all day long. Remember Lupus Mary? Same thing. From the second they get up, selling SNAP food units, using pension money, Social Security. They will steal things and try to sell it to people. Just straight out. It was getting to the point that guy was just straight out stealing bottles of booze this big out of liquor stores and stuff. That's all they do. It's a holding tank for people that they're end of life, other species, end of life psychopaths too. It's like that too. Remember the days of feeling bad for them? It's a persona, and it's the personas. God uses the personas to control them. Okay, so we all got a really good glimpse of that on the Brian Buchanan Facebook page. So that was definitely beneficial to get the things rolling. And once you just sort of don't view these things as people anymore, right? You just have to block it out, and just God will do the same thing with you that he did with me. It's a reminder that that's a persona, and the personas work to contain them, not that's how they behave. Okay. So they were let loose like slightly when I was out there and on an internet, so you could see what they're actually like. So it's compassionate to put them down. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're like this. I don't believe they even like the personas, but it's like in every day that might change. What they have to believe is who they are, even who they are. Like that person told you, He was Doug, then he's Brian Buchanan. I don't know if he's calling himself another name. It's all to contain a person who's psychopathically deranged and has very little brain matter left. So, none of that has changed with times, and I don't want to get too caught up in that. But uh, so obviously, lungs are clear, level is good. Um, I guess possibly because I've been having like 4 green olives, so I don't know if I needed a little bit of sodium. But I would be sort of, I think it's more just my general stress level. I really do. I think it has to do with concern because I've been terrorized for 13 years about ending up on the street again, especially when they do this business about shutting off the SNAP food card. Um, right. I mean, in 2021, it reached its epic heights where you force a person outside because then they have to have a SNAP food card or you're going to die from starvation. So, yeah, it's like really, really people completely trying to control me and your entire governmental system through a DTA office. That's gone on so long. It's some of them are going to be they're going to have to be shifted into some other belief system because you go you're not the government and you're printing yourselves incomes and then you're still not giving me an income. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of built up insanity going on. So, and you don't have any questions about the weather? Okay. You can't be in my military, you can't be in the US military, and you're like, that's beyond treason. You it broke into a DTA office of the United States of America and you're printing yourselves incomes. Okay. Expect to die soon. I'm sure that's probably never happened in the history of the United States of America. So expect to die soon. Did they break into Quincy housing? How are they giving out all those Section 8s? Does anyone know? I mean, are they approving money through Social Security now too to other people? Okay, I don't know why. Obviously, God made you things think to go way over the line into criminal insanity, so you could be put down like swiftly. Yeah, it's Almighty God, like I told you in 2011, it's the Passover, and He has a whole plan to help you with your transition to your next bodily form. You're going to go to your heaven. It's God. He is making it. It seems terrible for some people right now, but other people it's not. And He is making sure that you're put to rest in a grave so that you stop this business. It has to stop. It's like reach that point because you have an aging population and people with the brain plague, and now you're going to have millions of people with lung cancer. So it has to come to an end. You're the first wave of people. Whatever's going on in California is probably similar. You're the first wave of people that, and it's probably similar in like Los Angeles. It's the first wave of people that have to be put into a grave. It's just, you know yourselves what you've been doing. I know you would have thought that. You would have thought that, but you're so criminally deranged, it wouldn't matter how able bodied you are. But clearly, most of you are able bodied, but you're wackos in the head. So you've got to be put into a grave. You're not even people that are elderly and sick. You're just mentally sick. So there's nothing else to do with you but to get you home, as they call it. That's all that can be done for you. Okay, because you people would party like it's 1999 while people are starving to death in their homes in the suburbs because they can't drive anymore. And you are blocking the housing that they're supposed to be able to move into. So a grocery store is right there. Okay, so I've expressed it many, many times to the people with the nuclear material. So hopefully they understand you get a profit for a reason. Okay. You get a profit for a reason. Now that it's been 13 years and things from them, from that 2011 and 12 and 13, 14, you see happening. Okay. It's to prevent that from happening. They know their demographics, that you have an aging population and that they've got situations just like here. Okay. So eventually, the people like him, they get cognitively impaired and sick themselves and they can't drive anymore. And they don't walk anywhere. So they've got to be closer. Right. You've got people out, I don't know about Mansfield, that's coming up, but I mean I walked out west in 2020 and there's people building mansions and stuff. Do you people walk anywhere? Where's the closest grocery store? And I'm being dumped off in Quincy, Massachusetts to lay in the ground. And I walked all the way out to Worcester. So you people are gone in the head and you have to be put down. It has to stop. Whatever you thought was going to happen, where I guess you thought people were going to be forced to keep giving you food. Okay, it was a transition plan. That's why they're called essential workers, not their retards that then you go, aha, sucks being you. Okay. It's a brain plague. Many of those people, you should be able to see it in Quincy yourself. Many of those people are medically ill and they're having cognitive problems. How are they going to get to your grocery store? Okay. And again, some of these people, they're going to want to keep being bussed out to your grocery store to be nuked. No. And you would see them dead too because you're completely deranged. Right. So after a while, they're going to go, I don't care what is going on. I am not going back to Quincy to work at that at Starbucks because everyone is sick out there from the radiation. Get it? Okay. You're brainless and you're criminally deranged. And you were given a direct order about what to do and you didn't follow it. So, anyways, you're going to be like that till at least March 19th. Okay, so do what you want to do out there because you're being laid down. Okay, we're getting the reports from doctors. We just started looking at them last night. It's not anything for people to panic about. The panic, I believe, is because of what you've done to me, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. I've talked to people. They're living in housing with elderly people that are responsible for paying the bills. Okay? Right. And then what's going to happen when those people pass away or pass on? They die. We'll just say everyone dies, okay? What's going to happen when they die? Okay. Right. You people have to go. You got to go. Right. You attacked us in a house because you won't do day one the housing. You literally attacked us in a house to gain another house. You're mentally deranged. You have 400 empty houses at least in Plymouth. At least. Okay? So some people right now, yeah, the day shelter, like that I can understand. The day shelter, I guess they didn't want them at Logan Airport because we're waiting for you people to be put into a grave. So drink up, smoke up, all that. I guess sex up. I don't have to look at it. And then people will let us know. And then this stuff, once it's all poured out, enough REMs have been received. Okay, everyone knows what's going on. We don't have to keep talking about it, but we will talk about it until this situation ends. That's what you were told, and so you were repeatedly asked, just so that you know. At this point, it's really just to help you in a compassionate way to stay calm. You never had a chance to somehow reincarnate. You never had a chance. You're a different species, and you don't actually want to do that. That's why I was sent out there. I do this. I tell you what a species is. I tell you what the reality on planet Earth is going to be. Okay? And it's part of acceptance. All right. It's just you have a natural fear anyway. Everybody's going to die, like Andrew Cuomo told you. It's just you have a natural fear of that happening when it's almighty. It's your heaven. You'll be way happier than you've ever been in your entire life. You have to trust God. Okay, so you guys are a big holdup out there. Okay, just you see me running around with the crack pipe in my mouth, and look at what the hell I've been through in 52 years, almost 53 years. So there's no excuse to go over the stuff about intervention. It's just you're not built to be in this physical body. It should have been the happiest news ever in your lives in 2011. That's why the rest of us stopped using. Okay, just don't consider it a defect in yourselves that you couldn't accept the loving light of the Almighty and get off of the alcohol or the drugs or the cigarettes or whatever it is. Okay? It's just you're a different species. You can't do it. I explained it as God, I felt God explained it to me. It's the nature of how you function. You can't, because you're very, very mean. Right? You're very, very mean, and you can't keep building and using plastics and driving around and stuff if you care about river otters. It's too much. Like some of us, we got to the, and please don't do this, okay? It's temporary, so you have to be able to live, okay? We didn't even want to wear the blended fibers, like the spandex and stuff, because it's bad for the environment. We started looking at the tags. We didn't want to have anything new because of the people on the sewing machines where you guys don't care about anyone or anything. You probably got to the point of realizing you didn't even care if your dogs were getting sick by pollution. It's just the nature of your species. It's how it functions because the brutality of your lives, you can't have emotional caring like that. You can't be connected to planet Earth in that manner. You wouldn't be able to keep doing it. So don't beat yourselves up about that in terms of you're defective. It's just other members of your species are not in that condition. So it's a little bit sort of, I guess, depressing. People that would destroy perfectly good temples, as they call it, perfectly good bodies. Like you have a, it's almost like a hatred, but I think it's just because you don't want to have any thinking. You hate your binder. You hate your binder. So you have to have those until you transition. So some of you are probably happy that for that news. For whatever it is, it's not really good to do suicide. I don't really want to promote that. But whatever it was, it's like clearly you cannot stand living in this physical form. I know, just none of the things that the rest of us that are from Anonymous and stuff have been doing interest you whatsoever. I mean, that was 13 years of explaining a walk route. Just a walk route, walking in the snow, the thing, the rocks. You have no interest in any of it. None of it. That's why it's always me by myself, and then a group of you are in a tent and you're getting high and you're drinking and you got your legs wide open and stuff. That's how it's been since I first went out there in March of 2012. It's just that there was people like myself out there during that time, and then it seemed like you people overwhelmed the shelter because you were being put there by God to, because you're the first wave of people to be sent to heaven. Absolutely. Like you're going before the elderly people are. For the reasons that I said, they're protecting a lot of the population from you. That's why you've all been like sort of picked and chosen and put out there. Okay, so. Right. I think Jerry understands it, and he got out of there. I didn't see him there the last time I was there. I have no idea what he's doing, but I think he really got it because many of the times I went out there, I was explaining it to him. He could see it happening himself. Like every step of the way, you people choose to go that way. Okay, it's not that hard to be my species. So I'm sure it gets every year you probably resent and dislike me more because you're transitioning into another form of life as those binders keep. You folks don't want any thoughts in your head at all. I've never really understood drug users for that reason, but yet I do understand it because I don't have a binder. Yeah, just I don't want any of that going on in my life. That is. I don't feel like I don't feel uh, repressed by morality. Yeah, just that is. Anyways, even George Clooney went, yeah, I'm all set with that. Like, whatever happened to him in his life, I'm sure God took him out somewhere and went, so you like this? And then he went, no. So what do I do? I get married? Okay. I get married and have some morality, or I'm going back to a tail and leather skin. So they don't they will take the tail and the leather skin. You have to trust God. It's not something that He is doing to them, and they're like in a horror about it. You'd have to talk to them. It gets like grosser and grosser. You go, oh my God. Like they are happy that they're going to be able to just go around and like have sex with everyone, basically. But I don't even think it means that to them. They feel it's some sort of like higher love or something. It's like, yeah, just all those people with the one love in the community. And you just go, okay, well, good for you. That's going to be good that you have. And they're all sort of like bisexual and transsexual and stuff. And you just, oh, yeah, just it was explained to me. Every person they meet, you smoke on this and you share this and you smoke it. And I guess everybody gets their essence or something and everybody's hugging. And I know you just go, okay. Yeah, there's none of that. There's no touching of me for sure. But thank you for the testimony. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. If you don't want to make them feel bad about what they're doing, but I mean, I guess um, uh, the whole thing about a bride and a groom, even if it's two brides or two grooms, yeah, you just go the whole with the white dress and the thing and the cake topper and the white picket fence and stuff. Okay. Like it really is just a rejection of that. Some people probably they were able to admit they had to sort of be negative about it because they couldn't acquire it. And you go, well, if you're this species, then it's just a rebirth, and then you have a whole nother. You might as well you might as well comply to the morality now and not you literally deep inside go, oh no, I've never believed in that. Okay, have fun. I have no idea, man, but I don't think so because there's so much sort of like they've got to be primates. Yeah, because primates don't live here because it really is just I got nothing to do with primates. Yeah, it really seems like that. You just go, what in the heck? Like in terms of other species, I know you go. Oh, I'm not gonna recognize any of these folks anywhere. Yeah, you just go, oh boy. Like I could see Charles Manson being maybe like a friendly sort of, I guess, primate, but the rest of these people, you just go, he's probably not even a primate. He's probably a my species. That's what I'm saying. Just his whole way he was acting. Can they see that that's how he was, and people actually kind of liked him, and not it's like you're disgusting. Are they able to see that? Like He doesn't show up at an interview glaring his teeth and clawing and spitting at us. Yeah, just talk about mimicry. That's why you go, how are you overriding your, how is God allowing you to override your binder? Okay. Whereas the other one, I think, was just explaining what the species does. Okay. And then that's clearly like God was forcing him to do it. I don't even think he, like, afterwards, he was probably like, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. That crazy bitch, and da, 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 and just more drugs and stuff and screwing more gross people. Probably. That's probably what happened because some people wanted to know some things, I guess, about if you guys are still having any mental reasoning going on because your behavior is so contrary to this bodily form. There's that blue jay again. What's up? Well, I see that you're a blue jay, so you are an attractive bird, but I don't want you terrorizing my other birds. That's the issue. I looked you up on the wiki, so I know that you predatorize other birds. Hopefully, there's too many of them or something. Or that's not even a natural thing for you or something. I don't know, but that white stuff is still in the front yard. You go, I don't know, man. I'd stay away from that, even though you are predatorizing birds. That's going to be my new thing. Yeah. What are you doing? Are you predatorizing? I don't think the fish care in terms of the river otters. From what I can tell about fishing, they like it's sort of like the aliens in Toy Story. I have been chosen. Like it's like the mice. Their whole perspective of stuff. So, all due respect to fish. Just it's good to know what's going on in there if they have any thoughts, right? So it's almost just like a stout. It's all part of the same sort of family. Yeah, just prairie dogs. Yeah, the mice, squirrels, chipmunks. I guess they're all rodents, basically. I like rodents. Yeah. Frogs. I like amphibians, and I guess I like them all, except for primates, which are what mammals? Amphibians, rodents. I guess birds. Yep, birds. I think those types of birds. Some of them have been doing stuff that is actually kind of cute, but typically it's just sort of like nice to look at. They're nice to look at and they make a noise. They're not like the guys, like they're not like the bigger birds. That I know it's just funny, like they're people. But I didn't think I liked canines, but what it is I don't like domesticated canines. I don't like animals that are domesticated. House cats sometimes are cute, but apparently there's cats that run around that are not domesticated. So that's what it is I don't like domesticated animals really. Um, I mean, obviously, I like steak, but when you see a cow, it does seem a little bit like, yeah. I mean, I like cheese and dairy and stuff, but it's just, they're just there. They're not like horrible. They're not horrible beings, but I guess if they're happy, it seems a little bit sad. I mean, when you have a million of them hooked up to those machines, it seems sad. But I mean, I don't know what the brain power is. But they've got to be put all those stuff. They have to put all that stuff in them because they're trying to make sure that you don't get sick. Yeah, but um, I think for the like it's probably a treat, but there was a lot of bison, so who knows? Maybe the time of the year or something. That's a lot of beef running around. And they stomp down all that grass so you have a path to walk on. No, you got to live in 5 foot grass. What are we gonna do with this? And make bundles or something. It gives you something to do. They just stomp it down for you. They make a road. Uh, Barbara Streisand. They make a road. Yeah, there's too many of us. There's too many of this bodily form here. None of the species can do what they're supposed to do. No, we need to do that ourselves. There's a species that does that for us. So yeah, like basically my species it has to not interfere with other species. That's the whole deal. In terms of reproduction, you have to trust God. It's probably going to be a lot different than it's been. So, uh, like same-sex couples, people that are just single their whole life for a cycle, right? Like you'll probably realize that a lot of that stuff is um, like a brainwashing because of the other species. That's literally all they do. Right? It's literally all they do. So we're not really going to know exactly about that until they're all gone. Right? It doesn't. It's not a like um, cold-hearted, loveless being. They probably view us like that, especially as the transition goes on and on and on and on, because we are being socially separated from them. And so they probably view us as they can't probably see it from what actually is happening, how brutally cruel and sick they're being towards me. I don't think they can, I don't think they view it that way. They actually just, there's something wrong with me and whatever. Like that's what they. It's my understanding that's what they think in the jungle. That my species has a virus, and so they have to stay away. So it would make sense if you started thinking all this negative stuff about me, but you're not supposed to be keeping me a hostage during your transition. There is never was a reason to be doing that. So waiting for that to be put a stop to, like I said. Having my soda. Those are all Michael Forian facial expressions, in case you were wondering. Having my soda. I don't think he says having my soda. No, it's like a combination because I'm my own person. Having my soda. But then I would still make like facial expressions like he does. I can't really say that, but yeah, I mean, ideally, I don't know, like, I guess he gets married, he produces me, and then she tragically dies. Yeah. And then it's just there might be siblings, but they go off and do their thing. They go and get married and stuff, and I just sort of don't have a desire to be doing that. Yeah, just having my soda. Well, that would be sort of unfortunate for him because clearly, if you had a situation, I don't know, you got to ask people over in Japan. If you have a situation like that, it's probably wicked difficult for the two to remarry because you just go, yeah, just it's the nature of females. I wouldn't like it myself. I mean, you meet a dude and he has a daughter like that, and it's just, is she always like, is she ever going to get married and move out of here? Or Get it? Right? And the dude's just like, no. Right. And then you just go, okay. Anyways, it's different than if you had like a couple. I wanted to do that like when I had children, where they just they live somewhere, they're not in the same house as you, but they don't. Alfred is totally different because he's not my species. And he's sure as heck not quote unquote Asian. Oh, it's the countdown to them being 18. And then you throw your children outside or something and you go, I don't understand what this is. Like, I don't think he understands what that is either because of just taking on a persona. He's probably a completely different persona what he's doing now, right? Just, um, I thought that you did me a favor by forcing me to marry you after raping me at Framingham State College. I'm your girlfriend, and then I'm just hanging out with you because I can't get away from you. And I'm trying to graduate from college and get away from you. And then you purposely impregnate me and tell me I have to marry you or get an abortion. And I thought you were doing me a favor because you weren't going to have your kid grow up like that. What are you on? What are you talking about? Why can't you and your girlfriend just divorce me and go away? Oh, I see. It's another persona. Okay. Because she's got a persona and she's got to have someone to nurture, which means she wants to move into my house. And when she can't, it's all hell breaks loose. Gotcha. Because that doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure her kids knew she didn't make any sense either. Just you just watch it and you go, what is this? Okay. Oh, now we know because it's been 13 years if we're still living. It's a persona. Oh, okay. So that's why. It's not just you're full of shit, you're a different species, and then you guys just put a mask on and that's actually you. Okay. Is that insulting to say? Because it's clearly the truth. I don't change anything that I think and say like that. That is fucking insane. But good for you. Does that make you more open to change and thoughts? And okay, great. Like, riddle me this. If I was in college and I'm like 22, why wasn't I living on Veterans Road with two kids already? Okay. Because your persona at that time was that you don't believe in that, just like you don't believe in Polk County and trailers on um, cinder blocks and stuff, right? That's called the Almighty because you tried to absorb my morality and act like it was yours because you're a wacko. All due respect, sir and ma'am. Most people fight tooth and nail to get into a college from a different college, from a GED. Uh, uh, right. Most people fight tooth and nail for that because they're secretly trying to force some loser to impregnate you. Yeah, that was the goal there. Logic only prevails in my species, so you folks don't have to worry about that. There's no logic in your species. It's all about arguing, lying, defrauding, covering up shit, making up new things about yourself, making up things about me. It's all good. I honestly don't care what your species thinks of me. Make up whatever you want. So, anyways, that can't make any logical sense to me. And I definitely years ago got tired of people trying to tell me who I am, what I think, why I did things, things I need to change about myself. No, mm-mm. That's not what the Almighty Creator told me. So that business doesn't work on me anymore. Not 22. So that's a lot of tongue biting all around. Just so, anyways, I knew by the time that I first stepped outside to go on a trip, yeah, I had to get away from you. Right? Just wicked, supity duper, abusive, and controlling. So, and then in third, that's right, the third college that I got accepted to that I didn't go to because of the pregnancy. That I either had to get married or have an abortion. Does it seem like that person wasn't talking like that now that 13 years have gone by? You see children here, a Christmas card, a birthday card. Okay. Does it seem like that person wasn't talking like that in 1993 and 1994? So, anyways, I don't think so. It doesn't matter what people remember. This is just like kind of about me. It doesn't really, I honestly don't. That's one thing about that species I can't stand. That's why I don't even want to appear to be like that. I know you just go, I'm sure probably most of my life I have stood back and just, okay, people are going to make up whatever they're going to make up, I guess. And then over time you go, I think it's different too if you don't even know what welfare is. But clearly, I know what that is because of the rest of the genetic family. So you go, why wasn't I just living in Veterans Road or getting a Section 8 and already had two kids by the age of 22? Sometimes people, when they're young, they say stupid shit, I guess, and you go, I can't believe all this fucking stupid shit I said. And clearly, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? Like, if you know yourself, you had a kid at 14. Why didn't I already have two kids by the time I was 22? I think, sort of honestly, if it's even true, but I think the most amazing part, if it's even true, is Cynthia's daughter. You just go, never have anything to do with me because there's something on that genetic line that's even worse than Barbara Kent's. Just all due respect. That's why it's a lot of tongue biting. I'm familiar with what was her name? Was it Grace Rego? I'm familiar with the Regos, okay? Because you weren't even in a womb yet. People lie and make up things about themselves. So there was already that's like not nice people. It doesn't make other people right, but those were not nice people, and it shows, man. Let's see, intermediate fasting, take walks. I just, I don't notice other people. It's difficult to explain. I mean, I don't think it really has anything to do with being beautiful. It's just, obviously, but I don't go around in life thinking like that. No. And just you go, I don't understand Why are you so mean? Why would you even say things like that? Why does that matter to you? Oh, I see. You're filled with envious hatred, just like most primates. Okay. I don't know if you know this, but that woman that birthed Michael Rigo was not a looker. No. So, anyways, yeah, Alfred's mother was the same way. They're just not nice people. Just, well, that's why that entire species is being taken off of this land piece. Just, I know what I experienced growing up here, and it's just, no, there's not a chance on Earth that we're having a species like myself on this land piece with these things still there. Not a way. So me, that's probably what that woman's talking about in the thing that she has a concern about her daughter. Yeah, I do too. I have a concern about your daughter. I'm sure. I have a concern about your daughter, my daughter, the guy over there's daughter. Yeah. Um, Once you're done making up excuses about what's happened to me, right? You just go, especially if you didn't know me when I was younger and stuff. If you didn't grow up in Dedham and you were like a friend of mine, if you're not one of the six children I birthed that knows what it's like to be in a household and stuff with me, uh, you just go there. Yeah, you just go. There is not a way that these people can stay here. You could never have a race of meek, caring people. They think that they're caring, and it's just you can see that they're brutally sick and insane. They're not caring, but it works in there. That is caring to their species. But you could never have a peaceful, actual, loving, caring, meek species here on Earth with these things. You just can't. Uh, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Rather than thinking that's good, what happened at the house and what happened in Albuquerque and at the train, you should be horrified. You have to trust God and not make up all these things about me. Right? Sometimes it can be difficult to understand other people outside of your own. You put everything through a filter of yourself, comparing everything that people do and say to yourself. Everyone does it. Okay. Especially when you know that you're not my species, right? Just you don't care about river otters. You don't get it. Maybe you called them river rats or something. You just don't even get it. You don't get why that matters. You don't care about the beaver covered in oil still trying to build the dam. You get nothing. You get no emotional reaction whatsoever from that. Or you think it's funny. Maybe you get envious of it. You get mad because I think that's cute and I don't pay attention to you or something. I have no idea what goes on. Like you think something looks better with one of those skylines. Like you literally think that that's gorgeous or something and that's better. That this 14 people took a shit and put lights on it like a Christmas tree. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Is it? It looks like a junkyard. I don't really find it to be beautiful at all. It's like depressing. Isn't this gorgeous here? Maybe if it had smell-o-vision, you wouldn't think it was so gorgeous. Like, God, what the hell is that stench? I guess I'll start doing my stuff by 11 because it's like a 2 hour walk. So it's supposed to be 40 something today, so I'll probably. I got away with not wearing that fur coat yesterday, so I'm not wearing it today. Definitely, it's probably going to be warmer today. Um, it's nice to be able to just talk too, because you go, are we still going to go? And then during the war that we say isn't, I guess it's not really a war, the war that we deny is going on, um, she said something about we're all going to be killed by thermonuclear weapons. And is that not going on? I know you go, as you have tried to kill me for 13 years. You've tried to literally murder me for 13 years. Clearly, none of this can make sense. None of this can make sense. None of it. So I think you could consider this business with outlawing Florida alimony on June 30th and still not giving a fuck. The whole lot of you. Literally nothing. Nothing will penetrate to go. Some of them seemed nervous about the stay away order to the MBTA, including him. Okay. And then it's not about waking people up. I don't believe in that. This is a way it's called brain disease, um, not being able to care for yourselves, and you're taking up space that's got to be filled in with other people that have an actual need, and they're not preying upon me when I go out there. Right? Yeah, it's just that's got to be done. So, anyways, um, they determined. Okay, this is what I'm getting. They determined you have nothing to do with me. You're literally not my species. On top of being uh, sex offenders and drug addicts and alcoholics. Okay. Just, I know that particular city because, especially, I think for me, especially 2020, even though it got worse for me personally, the other visits, no utilities being paid, no rents or mortgages being paid, a free bus, numerous food pantries, money poured out in this COVID business, extra SNAP units being poured out, and a woman at a library forced to defecate and urinate behind a tree. Okay. Locking up toilets, not letting people use bathrooms, with the shelter closed. Okay. And then, like I said, you literally tried to prey upon me, and I said I'm all set with talking to you, and then you flipped out on me and said you hope I die and I'm the Virgin Mother. Right. So the whole city is being put down. Uh, you obviously could have hostages like Melissa, maybe Lester, that are not criminals like that. But some of the stuff that Lester has done over the thing, he's got issues with being a sex offender and he was a drinker. So he's already got dementia. It's not really like a punishment. Okay, so yeah, I never understood why you didn't put Melissa in an apartment unless she was purposely refusing to do it because of me. Uh, Other than that, that's why she wasn't housed. Get it? Okay, so that's why she wasn't housed out there. Okay, so anyways, they some of them might think like that. That's what I'm telling you. Some of them might think like that. They witnessed you interacting with me. They can hear words and phrases, and I've been doing this. So I don't have a real love loss about if you're going. I don't get this. Like, weren't we in a cause greater than self? No, you weren't because I've interacted with you as a city. Okay, like this is the other thing too to remember about binders. If you're in a binder, and the people that I give information to and counsel. Okay. Uh, when you do like weird stuff like you were doing in 2020 and you won't hand me a bottle of water and stuff, that's you being slightly released from your binder. Okay. And then what happens, the way that God brings you back in is yes, your change, your thoughts and stuff are going to change. That's how he's doing it. You're not allowed to break out of your binder. Okay. So, that's what I would say. That it's just to remind people about it, that it's a persona, it's the binder that God is controlling. Like no person just acts like the stuff that I saw in 2020, in 2021. They don't do that, and then all of a sudden you change your mind. That's what I'm explaining. You don't want to be in this physical body doing that stuff. So, um, clearly, you get it from that dude once and for all when he takes off from a hospital. Uh, Not like that's really a mistake, right? It's just it, every single interaction, he chose a different thing. I was thinking about this briefly. Was it when I was waking up this morning? Maybe God was explaining it more. Um, the day, like, I think that he was in some sort of insanity, like I said, because he wouldn't stop it with the I love you. I mean, you can't love someone that soon. And then as soon as I said it back, like that was his goal, because he's a wackadoodle, um, he completely changed after that. Right? He completely changed, like, into a fucking monster after that. If that's like the pivotal moment, it's different from the third day. Yeah, like after that, and then he sat down on the lawn. There was other people sitting there. I thought it was weird too. Like, why am I leaving to walk back here and you're not going where you go? You're gonna just sit on the lawn with these people and start interacting with literal fucking strangers? Yeah, just everything he did was fucked up. And then he goes, "Oh, I like watching you walk away." Like he was publicly humiliating me. Okay. And then that wasn't it. The next day I came back, he was with that Greg Ryan dude, and he was immediately mean. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we slept till like 3 p.m." Okay, so you're fucked in the head, basically. Okay, so that was your goal. Then what do you do? Yeah, like that dude's a fucking monster. Yeah, definitely a fucking monster. So, um, yeah, you just go. So you basically tried to stay away from Quincy Center until you thought I left because you didn't know that was me. Okay. That day. Okay. Well, there you go. Anyways, I don't know. Who cares? It's whatever goes on in a sick, deranged person's fucking binder with that. You go, this is my goal, is I'm gonna make this person uh, think I like her, and then she'll like me, and then I'll get rid of her. As opposed to raping me. Okay. Or like I don't know what you usually do. Are you like giving people drugs and alcohol typically? What are you doing? Because clearly that's God redirecting your thoughts into something else. That is clearly God redirecting a monster's thoughts into something else, for sure. So he may have been, like I said, something, because I know with Jen, God explained it to me after. Something triggered it to even be like around me. And I don't know if it was after May 17th. like it says in the Holy Bible. You then took opportunity to keep trying to betray me. Okay, so by May 17th, it's like something clicked in a monster's head. These people are psychotically insane. That's what I'm telling you. That's why they're out there, to be put in a grave. It's the worst of the worst of your society here. Okay, so not they're innocent victims of something. So, something clicked in its head, apparently, after May 17th. I don't know if it's because I wouldn't give it any more money, something. And then uh, it was after that when I came back. He wasn't with Greg Ryan that first day. Something clicked in its sick head to be doing that. Anyways, that was the day that that toilet was there too. So this is the World Wide Web. I'm explaining to you how sick these things are. They're watching this on the World Wide Web with this going on, right? So she shows up in Quincy Center like she's a character in a fucking play I write. It's just like that John Cloud person told you. They think they're writing scripts. They're not even real people. It's part of their brain diet. It's depersonalization. Okay, not I was wrong about that. Not for a second was I wrong about that. Okay, so it's really, really severe brain loss. Anyways, that's what happens with depersonalization. It's really that bad. Just a brain thinking all this fucked up shit. So, because I asked that Jay guy if he knew someone named Lorraine, because he saying something about Lorraine or Auntie or something, and I go, "Are you talking about Lorraine?" They may completely lie about what the fuck I'm asking them. He may have known exactly what the fuck I was talking about, and he said he didn't. Okay, and then she shows up in Quincy Center right after that. Did you call her on a fucking phone? Or because she's watching me on this and she's a fucking sicko. Okay. So you show up in Quincy Center to play a role because I said the word fucking Lorraine? Okay. Jesus Christ. Things are fucking gone. I told Alex in 2021, wherever you are, Alex, if you thought it got worse. I told him, I go, people are coming up to me and talking. You know how I write a script on Facebook? Because that's what Delia Duffy was doing. I go, people are coming right up to me and talking at me like that's a script writing in their real life. Oh yeah, and he goes, yeah, I'm tired of people being fake too, because that's what I was like. What in the hell? I mean, I'm writing a thing on Facebook, and they're showing up in Quincy Center talking like they're in a play. And John Cloud confirmed it by what he said. He goes, we're all just writing our stories, really. No, we're not, dude. No, we are not. You're not writers and you're not actors. Uh, so enjoy your next thing. That's it for soda for today. Put this back there. All right. I drank barely any water yesterday, but I do that, so I'm not going to stress about it. I can start looking that up now. Let me see. What am I going to do? I should probably do 30 minutes today because I can take tomorrow off if I want to. So I might as well push it since I feel pretty good. That's going to start acting up now. That's got something to do with the radiation. I don't know. It's absolutely got something to do with the radiation. That's back. All right. So let's see. Just a reminder that a week from tomorrow begins Carb Week again, so it's only another week. Some people like carbs. Hey, that's at least 3 to 4 days where we don't have to stress about this insanity. Where Muriel Gore can't have peanuts. Oh yeah, just who knows if that's what they actually think in their head. Yeah, you got to think about how grossly insane these things are. Are you blocking me from having peanuts? Yeah, that's God keeping you away from me because you're so disgusting. Please, please do block me from having penis. Please do. Please do that. Fucking gross. Absolutely fucking disgusting. So, got to get these things in the ground because their transition is getting really just to anyone with a thinking mind, it's just too much to fucking bear. Okay, so today's supposed to be 46, and tomorrow's gonna rain, and then it's like 2 day break, and then it's gonna go up to 50 on Monday. So we will get this. We will get. They're saying snow, ice, rain on tap ahead of weekend. Let's get this done before the summertime. So, oh, that's right, my music. Oh, I can't do that because I have to have music for my abs. All right, so I got to do that first. I'm still using this "What You Gonna Do" song. It's 5 minutes and 21 seconds long. All right, so push-ups, abs, bicep curls, jog walks, 2 hour walk. Stop at the store. I don't have anything to shell. I shelled a half a pound of pistachios yesterday that have to be washed and cooked to get more sodium out of it in the nonstop profound insanity. And that's physical prowess. That's how you exercise physical prowess over a literal fucking woman without embarrassment. That's how you do it when you're a gross diseased animal that's embarrassing, but it doesn't know how embarrassing it truly is. That's what you do. I mean, it's been 13 years, man. I'm a woman, I'm a lady, I'm a homemaker, so they've got to physically try to dominate me by starvation. That sad, pathetic. Like someone's having sex with those things. Level of disgusting. They don't do no push ups. They're not jogging. Yeah, it's really that gross. It is just, it's a very small population of beings, just know that. But there's a very small population of beings just watching animals keep their mother hostage, and they're animals. And they keep trying to dominate me over and over and over again when I'm not their species. And they just, in a mimicry, go, we do this and we put this on, and then we eat foods and we ignore this. It's a very small population on planet Earth having to endure this as we all wait. So, yesterday, we did the thing again where we're going to bring up Al all over your news media for no reason. And what was the other thing? More stories about Florida. And that's a form of dominating a woman, dominating a lady. Okay. A bunch of children's mother. You just keep dominating her over and over and over and over again because you don't walk anywhere and you can't lift weights or anything and you don't jog and all that makes sense to you. And then what happens? That's how you know they're neutered males, by the way. What happens then? Do you become in charge? Are you in charge then? And then what do you do at that point? Stop behaving like a literal woman?